This time I'd like to call to order the Emerald Park Landfill Standing Committee for Tuesday, October 4th, 2021. That's 5:03 p.m. Would the clerk please read the roll?
All right, roll call. Annalise Smith. Patrick Murray.
Here.
Mark Slocum.
Here.
Michael Colling. Absent. Harvey Schweitzer.
Here.
Alderman person Eileen Madden. Here. Greg Burmeister.
Here.
Roland Kiefer. Absent. Dan Olzenberger.
Here.
Chad Siegel. Here. Joel Spear Jr.
Here.
Statement of public notice.
This meeting was posted in accordance with Wisconsin state law. Please this is just a reminder, speak clearly into the microphones. We've gotten little things when we post them online that we can't hear everything. So just speak clearly into the microphones. Thank you.
Approval of the minutes. We have two previous meetings. We will take them separately because this is rather unusual that
There you go.
Okay, thank you. I'll repeat approval of the minutes. We have two separate sets of minutes. We will take them each separately, so therefore I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes of March 29th, 2022.
Move to approve.
Second.
Corrections, addition, discussion? Upon hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The March 29th minutes are passed unanimously. The next is approval of the minutes of the June 28th meeting. How do you wish to move?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second. Corrections, addition, discussion? Upon hearing none, all those in favor of the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are passed unanimously. Open forum. No one here at this time. Compliance officer report, Mr. Spears.
I passed out a summary. The third quarter audits. Been trying to do summaries this year. I gave you one at the last meeting as well.
Do you have your microphone on?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right.
You want me to shout?
No, maybe just pull it towards.
Bend it down, please.
Yeah.
Bend it down. There
There
you go.
there is some boilerplate to it as some things are unchanged or stayed the same. Important features are their waste volumes are on the uprise. It's not a rapid development. They were 1,000 to 1,100 last quarter. They're 1,000 to 1,200 this quarter. And the last audit, they were averaging 2,500 tons a day because of a soil project. The real important news is that the 20 new wells that were put in to lower the gas temperatures at the extraction points are now all connected to the system and all operating. And the new cell construction is complete. And though I say in this report that they're waiting on a sump pump, it obviously was delivered and installed because they submitted the documentation report to the DNR today.
That's it?
There haven't been any odor complaints since March. Double check when you go out. I haven't had any off-site odors that were gas related since March as well.
Nothing on the mini expansion?
The new cell is finished.
Okay.
The construction's complete. When the DNR will review it, when they give their approval, they'll start putting what they call select waste into it, the fluff layer. And until that's all the way across, it won't be their main focus. Once that's all the way across, I assume that they'll jump right into it, and they can probably describe that better. And a lot of phase 7 will be overlay, so they'll be stripping back soils and so on every time they place the next lift.
Okay. Questions, comments, discussion? Okay, status of projects, clay extraction.
Well, as Joe said, the cell has essentially been completed. So all of the clay extraction that was associated with that has been done as part of that project. We do have a few select small contractors that on occasion will take some material for their needs offsite, but it's been a pretty small quantity at this point in time. So, and just to add to Joe's comment on the cell, he's right, the documentation report was submitted actually today. And then once we receive department approval, it will come conditionally. There's just a few things to wrap up in terms of removing a previous rain flap and doing a connection of the leachate collection pipe, but those are items that will be done as part of the department's review and conditional approval. So it literally a day or two's worth of work, and then, like Joe said, we'll be moving MSW select waste as the first waste material to go into the cell. And then once we get a what they call a fluff lift across the cell, then we can move the complete operation down in there, including special waste and C&D and those types of waste materials. And I expect that to happen probably end of October, early November at this point. Again, pending department review.
Okay.
I have a question. Back probably to Joel. Collection ponds have been an issue in the past of cleaning or not cleaning.
I do have a comment about the fact that in last quarter, they had removed the woody growth from the ponds. Basin number 2 has been, quote unquote, on the need for cleaning for 2 years. An extended period of time, but it still has plenty of freeboard. It still is operational. The state and the city kind of swapped roles in the responsibility of the stormwater system. So as long as the landfill does its maintenance and the city itself is happy, they're in compliance. So the basins are almost bone dry at the moment. It has just been a really dry year. There haven't been any odors because of that, which was one of my concerns. So that's why I was watching them. But Basin 1 was redone. Basin 3 was cleaned a year ago. So it's just Basin 2, and it is just sediment.
And that's the one we do have scheduled for sediment removal yet this fall, going into winter. So it is on our schedule for cleanup, so to speak.
Very good.
MSD project.
Well, like Joe said, the additional wells are in, and we are continuing to, extract gas from the landfill pretty efficiently, we think, and the delivery to the district has been good. We had greater than 92% runtime for the month of September, so we continue to deliver the gas down to the district for their needs at this point. And other than preparing for winter with doing some winterization of the plant itself and some insulation, we should be in pretty good standing with the district at this point.
Your contract with the district, does that have a maximum amount of gas that they will take per day?
I'm not aware of a maximum delivery to their plant at this point in time, no. So as much as we can give them, they're willing to take.
Okay. And that's 1,800, 2,000 cubic foot a day?
I mean, right now, we're extracting somewhere typically 2,400, 2,500 SCFM. And if the district is willing to take that much, we'll deliver that much. It does depend a little bit on their operations and what's going on down at the plant. Sometimes they'll take less for whatever reasons. Sometimes they'll take it all. So it really depends on their needs.
Okay, so what they don't take, you flare.
That's correct.
Okay. Electronic recycling?
Nothing much to report there. We continue to operate the recycling drop-off and the residential drop-off on Fridays and Saturdays. And I think the material's being picked up roughly on an every 2-week basis, which seems to meet our needs to get the material moved off-site. So I think everything is in order there.
Okay. Residential drop-off site?
Couple things there. The yard waste operation has been moved to the new compost pad located on, I'll say, the old Future Parklands landfill. So we are working on some signage. Chad's got some signs coming in here shortly in the next week or so. It's just a matter of getting folks used to taking the new path to the new location. And we're working or giving a little bit of thought on the movement of the other boxes, I guess, for the residential drop-off operation. We're kind of going to coordinate it a little bit with the household hazardous waste. Probably not going to do both on the same weekend. So depending on their first weekend, we'll probably work around that to move the residential boxes over there as well.
When are, I can catch that just a little bit on household hazardous waste. Yard waste is on top of the old hill?
That's correct.
Okay. And they come in through your regular front
They
gate?
still come, yes, they still come through the main gate, so to speak, and at least right now, and check in with our attendant to get the directions to go back there. And like I said, we're going to have some new signs probably in place in the next week or so that will help them as well.
Okay.
You might describe what you do on top.
The pad? The pad, like I said, was I think with 12 inches of breaker run type rock and then a 6-inch TB or 3-inch TB on top of that. So and graded to help promote drainage and stuff away so we don't have ponded water. But it's a nice large area, and I think in terms of access for folks, actually it'll be, once they're used to knowing where to go, it'll be a lot better than having to send folks, either around back, which some were doing, or having to maintain 2 separate areas for drop-offs, is eliminated now with the one central location.
Okay.
Is there going to be an attendant there, or are they going to be on their own dropping it off?
Well, we'll have an attendant. Like I said, once we've moved the residential boxes over to the other location there as well, he'll be able to he'll be close enough that he'll be able to kind of periodically run back there as well. We won't necessarily have someone right by the pile on a every minute type basis, but he's got enough time that he's able to check things and make sure people are getting in and out efficiently. So
Getting in and out wouldn't be my concern.
we'll get them in and out.
Well testing, well water protection area, anything?
Yeah, I talked with Frank Perugini this morning, actually. He's unable to make the meeting tonight. And right now for the 2021 sampling event, they are intending to send out the card notifications in early November. And then at that point in time, look to schedule the sampling for December for this year. So that's the plan right now.
The 1 or 2 issues he had, those are all taken care of and put to
Yes.
bed?
Yep.
Okay. Plan modification issues?
Currently, there's nothing on file at the department. We, like I said, the documentation report for the new cell has been submitted. And we will be sending in an update on some closure and long-term care costs for the facility as well. That will require department review and approval. It's part of the requirement under code that the costs be evaluated on a 10-year basis or sooner if things change. But in our case, it was just time to update those and review those costs. So that will be going in for department review. But other than that, there's no other modifications in for department review at this point.
Where does the reserve capacity for the leachate stand? That had to go in for a plan review, right?
Oh, for the tank itself?
Right,
Yes.
tank and everything
Yeah, that's
associated
been in and that's been approved, so,
Okay.
yeah.
And when will that occur?
We may look to do some general type work, grading and those types of things here before the end of the year. The tank itself, it's a long lead time, obviously, right now for materials, which is not uncommon for a lot of construction projects. So I think most of that work will probably carry over into the early part of next year.
How large is that tank?
I think we ended up at 150,000 gallon tank. So
It's a single double wall tank?
it's a single wall tank, but it will have secondary containment concrete structure around it.
Okay, so secondary containment will be the concrete structure?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
It can be assembled on site,
Yes, that'll be assembled on site.
the tank itself.
Yes.
Okay. Trying to picture how you're going to get a 100,000 gallon tank
So,
done.
yeah, me too. So,
Okay.
yep.
Is that fiberglass?
I believe it was a steel tank. So,
Steel?
yep.
And you said 120,000?
I believe it's a 150,000 gallon tank.
150,000?
Yep, yep,
Okay.
Yep.
When would that, or do you anticipate that will be functional?
I would say sometime second quarter of next year.
Okay. The reason I ask that is that from time to time, because of very significant storm events or other things that occur with the sewer system, we end up having to hold back sewage going to MMSD. We have a facility out in Bloom Park that allows us to do that from a citywide standpoint or even partial city, except for the lines that go down North Cape. 150,000 gallon reserve capacity at the site would give us the potential to be able to hold back temporarily. When I'm talking hold back temporarily, I'm talking usually a matter of hours. It's not weeks and months type of thing. And that's to stop the huge influx that goes into MSD and hopefully slow down some of the stuff that goes into the lake.
Right.
So that's the question for that.
Sure.
So that can be
Yep.
looked at and potentially coordinated.
Okay. Understood.
Have you ever gotten the flow meters synchronized on that force main?
Yeah, I think ours are.
Yeah,
on
your
our-
end, but I think
Yep.
the city was in conflict.
I think there's still some question there.
How are you paying your bill? Off of which meter?
I believe it's the city's meter, yeah.
And it's still some question as to
Well,
whether,
I think there still are some questions on, at least historically, on some of the, differences that we were seeing and calibrations that we were, I guess, anticipated were being done.
I guess that's probably been a 2-year debacle. I'd be curious what it's going to take to get that resolved. So,
Yeah.
A, the city knows for sure what's going through the pipe, and that the landfill agrees. I don't understand why that's not 100% resolved. And I don't know who to go to ask to see how to get it resolved. I mean, Mark and I have talked about this for 2 years and still open.
I may have some more information tomorrow. I have some from today's discussions, but I am looking for a more definitive answer on calibration, which I don't have. But I will let you know as soon as I know. Property protection, sociological.
Really nothing to report at this point in time. I mean, obviously, we'll be gearing up in the fourth quarter to make the sociological payments after the first of the year, but that's about all I have to report on that.
But property protection, nothing new there?
Nothing new there,
No
no.
properties going up?
No,
No? Okay.
not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, household hazardous waste. Annalise?
Everyone should have received the most recent report, and I think the expected thing that we're seeing is usage at the sites are up. We are 42%, and the report goes through July of this year, we're up 42% over our usage in 2020, but that is on trend with previous years, 2018 and 2019. So budget-wise and everything else, we are on track. We also do have exciting news to share that the new HHW site at the landfill will be opening up on October 16th. Moving forward, that site is open the first and third Saturdays of February through November from 8 a.m. until noon. It is updated on the Waukesha County website. And we're starting to share that information with residents.
October what?
16th.
And it's just Waukesha County, right? Not any of our affected communities?
Nope, all of so Town of Norwood, the appropriate communities that can use the site can all use the site. So
Franklin as well?
Franklin's not, no. Franklin's
You
a
already
part
have
of
a site.
MMSD's program. So this is,
Move out?
yes.
I mean,
Didn't our site move?
I don't know that Franklin has actually got their new site set up yet.
okay.
No, there were, a couple months ago, they did not have it set.
Keep going.
So I know we were talking a little bit about traffic patterns and things. So the new site is going to be in the old building. Residents will come through, check with the attendant once all of the operations are moved to that location, and then they will circle through the building where they will be checked in by a Veolia employee and their waste will be unloaded. So it is the resident stays in the car the entire time, shows their ID to be scanned, and then their waste is unloaded. And then they're on their way.
Dan, with the household hazardous waste going to the scanning, are you guys thinking of doing that as well?
Haven't given that a whole lot of thought at this point in time. But maybe we can learn something from the household hazardous waste operation. We'll have to take a look.
How would you envision using that?
So they know who is and who shouldn't be coming into their site? Franklin's site is doing it, and in the initial go-around, they found several people that shouldn't be there. And you would be able to see if contractors are continually coming in. You'd see a little bit more of a repetitive.
Okay.
One note I'd like to make, if you're saying it's October 16th, the amount of calls and requests we get for this drop-off, I will probably put this on the website tomorrow, and then the mayor will probably blast it to Facebook and everything. So I am giving you a fair warning. If the site's ready and you're telling me it is, do you want me to release it? Because I will, and I mean, I'm talking, you are going to get everyone. There's people that are waiting, so.
Yeah.
So I think the important thing to remember is that we have had 2 other sites open. So if there have been emergencies, obviously they are not in the back door, backyard. But we have planned, Veolia has planned for additional staffing for the remainder of this calendar year to handle a larger influx. On our website, we were very clear about all of the remaining dates for 2020 or for 2021, so that people don't feel like they need to be first in line on October 16th. They can make use of those November dates as well, but I understand that there are a lot of people that are just as eager as I am to have this site open.
Yep.
So.
Seen loading their cars, right?
I'm just letting you know, I will probably get it to the mayor tomorrow for Facebook. We'll put it on the website, everything that we link based off of this. So I want to make sure everyone's ready, that this is what our plan of attack, and we'll let people know as they call in, so.
Veolia has indicated that they're overstaffing.
Okay,
So.
good.
Annalise,
Yeah.
did you want to?
Yeah, why don't you go on to new business if she's done?
Okay. New business, annual rate adjustment to the household hazardous waste contract.
So a amendment was circulated with the meeting items. Pretty standard annual rate adjustment. The first major change is changing the address of the Muskego location for the hazardous waste site. We did notice that the top of the header of the amendment still referred to advanced disposal, so we have changed that to reflect GFL environmental in the amendment heading. Then there is the changing of the address to the new HHW site. We applied our annual rate adjustment, which was around a little over 3% for 2022, and that was agreed to by all parties. And then the last piece of the amendment is updating some contact information for a new Veolia staff person. So that's the crux of the amendment.
Discussion? With that, I'd be looking for a motion to have the chair sign this agreement on behalf of the committee.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Harvey did, I think.
Pardon me?
I think Harvey did.
I second.
Harvey, second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Oh, you want a roll call on it?
Please.
Okay. Scott, you want a roll call it? I don't have the numbers.
Aye.
Patrick Murray,
Aye.
Mark Slocum,
Aye.
Michael Colling, nope. Harvey Schweitzer,
Yes.
Alderman Eileen Madden,
Aye.
Greg Burmeister,
Aye.
Roy Kiefer, absent. Daniel Oldenburger,
No.
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 nope, that's it, right? I just want to make sure.
Yep. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, discussion on permanently moving the future meetings to City Hall. This has been brought up the last couple of meetings, I guess. And,
India, we probably should discuss.
pardon me?
Should discuss and have another vote.
Well, that's a separate issue, yeah. So I guess I'm looking for thoughts. I'm happy to give mine. And mine would be to remove or relocate the meetings back down to the landfill once we are comfortable that this COVID issue is no longer with us to a significant degree. I found that much more useful. Not every meeting by any means, but much more useful when it came to looking at drawings and other issues associated with the landfill. Obviously, a lot of that stuff could be pasted up here someplace, but to me, I found that very beneficial.
I think if we needed drawings, we could have them on the computer right in front of us. It's, to me, I know it's a little farther, but we got more room. We've got the microphones for recording, for the meetings, for the minutes to be taken. I think it seems more conducive to me.
I guess I would think if we're going to make the move, we may want to have another opportunity to, as a committee, go to the site. I think one of the advantages of going to the site for the meetings is we get to see the facility. I just am not 100% sure we all realize the magnitude of what's going on down there. That's kind of my real reason for liking to go there for the meeting, is to see what's going on. But maybe if we could consider having another, and I know you can call and Dad and Chad will give you a personal tour whenever you want, as long as they're available. And I guess that's just pretty much where I'm at. Is it going there gives you that?
I like being out at the site because you can see what's going on. And sometimes it's not a whole lot, but you're there and you're seeing some activities. It just seems like you're a little closer connected to the site if you're there. City Hall is certainly not a bad place to be, but I do like the opportunity to see what's going on. I love to see the trucks coming in and out. I'm an old truck guy. But I think I agree with Harvey that, just being able to see something going on makes a difference to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I like meeting here better. And I think that if we ever have any citizen participation, complaints, questions, or whatever, people are far more likely to come here than wander into the facility. And, I think we'll get the best feel as to what's going on over at the facility if we were to go there on a Saturday or a Friday and see actually what's going on with this different programs that our citizens should be using. If there's a problem with congestion, if there's a problem with, a mess being over there, that's when we're going to see it, not on Monday night when it's all closed. That's why I feel it'd be better here.
Okay. Well, obviously, we have two members that are not here, and their input would be valuable. So I think for the next meeting, we would continue on just as we are. And possibly at that time, we will get the input of the other two members. And at that point, we can try a trial meeting back down at the site to see what how people are comfortable.
See what Dr. Fauci says, right?
You know, and there's one person we didn't ask, and that's our host.
To be honest with you, it does not matter to us where the meetings are held. So whatever's most conducive for the committee and the residents is fine with us. So whatever you guys decide, we're more than happy to accommodate.
Okay, well, I didn't want to leave you out.
That's fair. It's all right.
Annalise, did you?
I think I've said my thoughts before. There are pluses to both locations, so happy to go wherever.
Okay.
You do not want to vote on it then? You want
No.
to leave it to go to unfinished business for next meeting?
Yes.
All right.
One thing I like to mention, because I can only control so much recording stuff, I gotta let you know, guys, it's very hard when I bring an iPad in there and pick it up. It does not work well. It just doesn't. When we go through it and we look at the video, and gonna have to get new iPads because the iPad I have right now, they run out of it. So then we're like left to a Zoom. And in this right here, everything that you see, everything will be sent on to every citizen for full transparency. So the recording down there, I'll have to figure out something to do a better job, because right now it's in and out. It's hard to record it. It's hard to put it on the YouTube. I'm just trying to let you know. Also, during any snow event, anything like that, I can have these parking lots plowed in like 15 minutes. I can control every situation related to this building. I can make 3 phone calls and I can have things taken care of within 15 minutes, just to kind of let you know. And, you know, talking about transparency, anything with the order, you know, everyone says to us for government to be more and more transparent. There ain't anything more than transparent to this. So I just kind of, my 2 cents is just seeing this stuff, and I can get you any plans that you guys ever want. And just to kind of give you an example, the plan that got submitted to Tetra today through the DNR, I already have a copy. I already have it on the server. I could pull up on my laptop and I could put it on here in probably 15 minutes. So that plan that was submitted to the DNR, I already got a full copy that's already on our server here in the city of Muskego. So just anything with plans, anything you guys ever need, just let me know and I can get you copies. I can get you on personal laptops or anything. So just to let you know from our standpoint, but I will have to do something with recording capabilities down there. I will have to figure it out with IT, just to let you know. So.
And that, from the committee standpoint, should not be a deciding factor. It can be an influencing factor, but it should not be a deciding factor in terms of that. If additional funds are needed that are not in Scott's budget, we can provide those out of the committee. That's part of what the committee's funds are for, is to accommodate what's needed. You know, and I think the one thing that we forget, and I'm not sure how it interplays in all of this, is that this is not a quote-unquote city meeting. It is a meeting of the affected municipalities that were a party to the contract. Now, obviously, the city of Muskego has by far the biggest clout in the whole thing. But in order to have this be truly successful, we have to look at the needs of everyone on the committee. So I just want to have that here. And that's my thinking of having Rowley here to listen to what he might have to say. Other thoughts, comments? Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to wait until it was needed because I don't like using up the committee's time, but can we pull up one of the audits?
Pardon me?
Can we pull up one of the audits under the big screen?
We'll find out. Can we pull up one of the audits?
Yeah. Are they on the website?
If you, everything that ever you send me an audit, it's on the website probably within 3 days of you sending me. If you go check the website, I put all audits. Any document that you guys send me, I have Barb put it on the website at any time. If you let me know, there's ways that when you can switch back and forth, you just got to give us a game plan. Or I can bring my laptop in, put it on there. You see that wire? There's a wire right in the bottom there. I can click on it and I can run through it, and it'll be on all 4 screens, and it'll be on every screen of yours.
But I think the question was, could you bring up an audit now?
Well, I don't have my laptop right with me, so I cannot personally, but when you can switch it back and forth just to do it. But usually when we do plan for these things, we plan for these things where it's like, are you going to do a presentation tonight? Yes or no? And then we have everything all set.
That was nice.
So
scroll it down to one of the pictures for me.
Yep.
Which one would you like to look at?
Just scroll it down. You get to a picture. I'm just curious as to see if it's worth saying that this is a good spot to say.
Is it on your screens too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Keep going down.
Keep going.
4 more pages and you'll be in the photos.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So when we said what's happening at the landfill now, what does it look like? Not that I'm suggesting I'm not needed, but I'm out there once a week, and photography's only gotten better in these situations. This is the new cell. That is how it looked. What date did you grab?
23rd, September 23rd. It was the,
So not last week, but the week before.
yes.
And then if you keep going down,
Okay, another one?
so that's the full cell. That's the really pretty shot. I'm sure they use that in the documentation report.
He's very happy with this.
That's a heavy
Yes.
cell.
And if you keep going down, you'll get to the operations and so on.
Okay.
So that's the typical side slope of phase 7. In my audit, I say that's the one that's not going to get seeded because that's eventually what they're going to pull back and put waste against. Go ahead.
No, okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to be bossy.
No, you're fine.
And that's what it looks like on the very top of the landfill. That's the auto fluff. You see litter, but it's called flagging because it's really not mobile. And they've been coming around since the 23rd because we discussed it, topping things off and so on. I think there's just a couple more pictures. Again, that's typically across the landfill. That's what the waste looks like. Tires probably getting picked up later in the day because they don't belong. And and they've been doing small working phases between the gas wells that are up there because they need to lift the gas wells up every time they bring the lift across.
There more?
I think there's one, just one more page.
Doing good.
So, and that's a picture from the other side of the new cell, and this is my ongoing whine about these type of cells where they're not really fully enclosed. You see the water at the very far edge of the picture. That's another temporary sed basin. Should that overflow into the landfill, it all of a sudden all becomes instantly leachate, and they have to pump it out in tankers, which has happened with the previous one. So it's not that big an issue. It's just a possible occurrence. But I was
Okay.
going to say, if this is
For my benefit, show me what the water is there you're talking about. I'm not seeing it, but
Roll up just a little bit. Up, back
The other way. There.
right there.
right there in that
Yeah.
one little spot.
Yep.
Okay.
And so it is not hydraulically
Right.
connected
Yep.
to the one to the north, right?
Okay.
No.
Yeah, so it's a separate temporary sed basin that pumps south. And back when they did phase 7, there's a very large basin that's really, been redone and so on that pumps to the north.
Okay, this one pumps to
It's
where?
just for the
To the
rainwater.
south.
To the south.
Yep. There's a new basin off to the left of this picture that was put in 3 years ago, and it pumps to that via wetland.
Especially with all the rain we've had.
Why would there be exposed liner at this point?
Well, that's the rain flap he was talking about. They're still cleaning that up.
Is there any more when you scroll?
Not on this
This
not on
is
this
all
particular
stone,
audit.
right?
This one's the end.
This is all stone?
It's all stone.
Yeah.
Leaching collection stone.
Now, why is it displaying on mine but
Right on
not
top.
on?
No, mine is different than everybody else's.
Because you've got the master
Yeah.
screen.
Is it displaying on everybody else's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like everybody
This
else
is
and the
up
ones
there.
behind you
I'm
and
sorry.
the two big ones out here,
I just want to see my
even,
work.
so all four of them up, and then everybody's, except, the only one that's different is mine.
Okay.
So you gotta get some drivers that are very gentle.
So I figured at some point, if we stayed in City Hall, we'd have a reason to actually take a look at either audits or drawings and so on. I figured while we were having the discussion, it would be a good
Yes,
time to see
no,
how it works.
That was excellent.
And I could actually have it faster if we decide that we want them up.
No, I don't think you want it any faster. My poor old eyes aren't gonna be able to handle it, but it was,
Well, no, I could have them ready to go easier than just while we were talking and I pulled it up.
you did just exactly what was needed. It was a real-life situation, and
And it worked.
because most of us won't have, the grace to be able to say a week ahead of time, would you please have this ready and this ready and this ready?
Yep.
No, what's gonna happen is somebody's gonna bring something up and we're gonna ask to see it. And you showed us it takes 30 seconds.
This stuff
If
is easy to
it's,
get.
if it's here on the server, boom, you'll,
It is true, though. So we can find it.
yes.
And Joe
So,
takes lots of pretty pictures.
And my laptop can pop off in
Yeah,
about a
he's got
minute.
list of other things.
I just pop it off, I have the cord, I connect, and then once it connects, it's the entire server for Muskego that everything I have can come through that laptop.
So with your laptop, you could do that virtually from anywhere as long as you get an internet connection, right?
Yep. And I get a hard line. If you look below that TV or that table,
Right.
there's a hard line that I pull out and I just connect it directly. And what you will see, actually, you'll see my computer screen on all your things, and I basically run the show then. So we do it a lot for presentations.
sure.
So as long as you've got a monitor, you can,
I will control the screens then.
But I think he's asking if you can connect to our server from the landfill.
That I don't know because I have to have a VPN number and it's a double security. So I can take my laptop home. I get on my internet. I need to have my phone because I do double security. So what happens is I hit an authenticator on my computer and then it sends a code to my phone and I have to do
that
it.
in.
Yep, to get it there. But it would go, I would have it on my computer screen, but if I don't have something to shoot it on, you guys won't see it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
My laptop's, it's not a big screen. It's a small screen. So if you were you would all have to huddle around
No, but see, all laptops have either a VGA or an HTML connection. We can throw up other
Yeah.
monitors and they just exactly duplicate your laptop.
Correct. It all depends on the TV that's there, if you have a TV on the wall or whatever. I have, all the other ones have AirTame, I have a direct connection, but these rooms were designed where I can take, it's called AirTame. It's every place has a different plan, but ours is AirTame here. I just look for it and I can shoot it on like meeting room 2, meeting room 1A, there's TVs in all of them. I would have to just figure out I can't remember, is there a TV on there? No, okay, so.
what we're viewing right now, can a citizen go to the city's website and see this?
As soon as I get them, I send it to the IT. IT is probably they're about 3 or 4 days behind. I mean, but you can go and find every audit report, every ESC, everything that you can possibly see can be found on our website.
Yes.
Our website.
Yeah, and that's always been the case.
Yeah.
Even when we first started out here with,
So you wouldn't necessarily have to go into the server.
No, but if you were asking for a set of plans, I don't put all the plans
Yeah.
on there.
you're not going to keep them on a local drive.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're asking for a set of plans, and if you said you wanted a set of plans, and I have my laptop here, I can just find them pretty quickly.
Sure.
So,
And his year-end audit.
but I don't put plans on the website for individuals.
All his 20
So,
audits.
if I don't have plans on the website, if they ask me,
Oh, no,
I-
but they are on the server.
yeah, they're on the server.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he gets in there's all 2020s, and his audits, so they just,
Okay,
the
it's all
further you
there.
scroll, yes.
Yeah, okay. Answers my question. Thank you.
Yep.
Questions, comments? You want to see it do something else?
No, the dancing girls aren't required.
That was good. That was very nice. And the part that I like is you didn't have to take half an hour or a day to set it up and do it. It was able to be brought up and looked at right off. Boom. So that was pretty handy, I think. Okay, continuing business. View payments made from the committee funds.
I'm gonna get back to the other piece. Here we are.
Yeah, I didn't print out those PDFs, so I don't have those.
No, I can. Hang on, my mouse is misbehaving. There we go.
Well, that's just a little bit fast.
All right, this is all Annalise's agreement. All right, so here we are, we get the balance sheet, or do you want to see the next one? The detailed?
Let's start off with the balance sheet.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done there. Everybody else done with that? Okay, would you continue on, please, to the detailed ledger, please?
Yeah. And I think this is a couple pages.
Mm-hmm. I guess I can ask that question at a separate time.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
That might be about, yeah, that's,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Did anybody have any questions on?
Do you need a motion to approve?
No.
Okay.
No, it's for information and
Okay.
so that we can see where we're at. We have been extremely frugal, so in pretty good shape. Okay, establish meeting and annual tour dates for next year, 2022.
This will be the fun part.
This is usually where somebody gets out their calendar
Well,
and
usually do January.
So the first Monday of January would be January 3rd.
Yeah.
Right.
That's gonna be the first business day of the year. You really wanna do the 3rd, you wanna do something like the 10th?
Yeah.
It can be done, it'll have to all be done like during the holidays, to make sure we get the agenda is gonna be out really early.
yeah, I don't view that as a problem. And we've met at those dates before.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a problem with?
No.
I'd prefer the 10th in case some of us are out of town and, don't plan on coming back exactly on the 1st or the 2nd.
Okay.
Do that too.
Is there any issue with the 10th? Nope. Okay, let's make that for the first one. The second one, we know it cannot be on opening day, or we won't have,
By tradition?
Okay.
yeah.
So that's usually March, give or take, you get March, right? Well, it would technically be Monday the 7th.
No, it would be April. April, right?
April, I would think.
March or April? Oh, the last one, last year, I think we did like March, the last Monday in March, didn't we?
Could have been, yeah.
That's right. Well, okay,
So it didn't conflict with opening day.
well, it would either be, we've got March 28th, April 4th.
Opening day is March 31st.
Let's do April 4th.
Opening day is the 31st?
Okay.
Is April 4th fine?
Yep.
Sure.
Everybody's nodding, all right.
Okay? April 4th?
All right. The first Monday in July is the 4th. This last year, we did the last Monday, which this year would be June 27th.
We definitely don't want to do it on the 4th of July weekend.
No,
Probably
otherwise-
not.
So how about like June 27th or July 11th? What, does anybody got going on or summer vacations?
I'm open.
Let's see, we're April, May. What was the last one in June?
27th, and that usually would be a tour date too.
Is that it?
Is June 27th acceptable?
Sure.
Also for the tour, Dan?
That's fine. Yep. We'll make note of it.
Okay?
Okay. And then, we got here, October 3rd, basically would be a year from now.
October 3rd for the last meeting of the year for next year, is that acceptable?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
That's the most
Went
difficult
too
part of the
quick, didn't
business.
we?
No, we just did, didn't we? All right.
Okay, citizen commentary? Nothing, no citizens. Communications and other business as allowed by law. Joe?
I always forget, this is the meeting where I request politely. Based on the calendar, it looks like we'll have 4 audits in December anyway, but just make sure it's an understanding with the committee. If I could have the week of December 26th free of audits. I don't plan on JSA being in town.
Move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion?
I think that's my annual motion.
Yes.
I know, you made it when Rolly wasn't here to be able to get us.
Thank you very much.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Now your thank yous in order. Any other items of business as allowed by law?
We're good.
Upon hearing none, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We are adjourned at 6:01 PM.